Turkey and the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus are marking the 47th anniversary of the Turkish Armed Forces peace operation on the island, with their operation launched at dawn on the 20th July 1974. Turkish soldiers saved both Turkish and Greek Cypriots from the darkness of the oppressive regime. The Turkish peace operation in 1974 undoubtedly saved the Turkish Cypriot community from mass extermination, prevented the annexation of Cyprus to Greece, and thus preserved the independence of the island. Existing strong historical, cultural, religious, linguistic and national ties between the Turkish Cypriots and Turkish peoples naturally reflects on the relations between the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus and the Republic of Turkey in a strong and constructive manner. It's generally possible to summarize the relations between the two countries as natural allies who protect the rights and interests of each other in every field, and who spare no effort to improve mutual relations. Turkey is acting as the only bridge connecting the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus and the Turkish Cypriots with the rest of the world on humanitarian and vital issues. The Republic of Turkey has made the utmost effort to ease as much as possible the difficulties faced by the Turkish Cypriots arising from restrictions. The Cyprus question, which has remained unresolved for years, is under international discussion thanks to Turkey's strong will. That question won't be resolved by denying the Turkish presence on the island, while the only solution is the two-state solution.
For more than half a century, the island of Cyprus has been divided between a Turkish Cypriot north and a Greek Cypriot south. During this 50-year period, many diplomatic initiatives undertaken to reunify the island under a federation have failed.
The conference on Cyprus was closed without an agreement being reached.
Throughout this prolonged stretch, Greek Cypriots have benefited from international recognition and then European Union membership, while Turkish Cypriots have lived under embargo. This asymmetric balance amongst Greek and Turkish Cypriots has led to the Greek Cypriot side taking a maximalist position over the years. Unfortunately, time and time again, the Greek Cypriot administration has shut down multiple attempts to reunify the island. There can be no common ground on the Cyprus issue as long as the Turkish Cypriot side is treated unequally. After a half-century of failed talks, it's time for a rethink on how all actors approach the Cyprus issue. Campaigning on the back of a two-state solution, Turkish Cypriots elected Ersin Tatar as their new president on October 18, 2020.
My new vision is, as you would have known, two sovereign states living side by side in a good neighborly relationship, to cooperate in any way to promote the welfare of all Cyprus, and also to basically achieve a political equilibrium in the most important Eastern Mediterranean. So I'm going there to put forward a new vision based on two states. Federal agreements have failed to achieve a result so far.
As a guarantor of the Turkish Cypriots, the Turkish government respects the will of the Turkish Cypriot people and fully supports their desire for a two-state solution.
Adadaki Türk toplumunu yok sayan Rum ve Yunan zihniyetinin 50 yıldır müzakereleri başarısızlığa mahkum etmesi karşısında eski çözüm formüllerini tekrar konuşmanın bir anlamı kalmamıştır. Artık o iş bitmiştir. Kıbrıs meselesi yeni dönemin ruhuna uygun bir şekilde artık çözüm odaklı bir anlayışla ele alınmalıdır.
Ankara calls on the international community to recognize the sovereignty of Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus and lift the restrictions placed on the Turkish Cypriot people. There are two different people, two different democratic orders, and two separate states on the island. A solution is only possible with an approach based on these facts. It's time to put to rest a half-century of diplomatic failures and shine a light on the future of Cyprus. The only solution is a two-state solution.
The Cyprus issue has remained unresolved for more than 50 years. Our following infographic gives a brief history. Speaking at a ceremony for the groundbreaking of various facilities and the implementation of newly completed projects on Tuesday, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that Turkey will continue to be the most important supporter of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus in all fields.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his Turkish Cypriot counterpart, Ersin Tatar, attended a ceremony for the groundbreaking of various facilities and the implementation of newly completed projects on Tuesday. Turkey, which proves its support to the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus in all stages of the Cyprus issue, continues its moral and financial aid to the Turkish Cypriots.
Kıbrıs Türk'ünün asli unsuru olduğu bu topraklarda geleceğe umutla bakması, güven ve huzur içinde yaşaması bizim için her şeyden önemlidir.
Turkey is no doubt the most important supporter of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus in every field, which is not recognised by any other country. Turkey is acting as the only bridge connecting the Turkish Cypriots with the rest of the world on humanitarian and vital issues. Even the basic human rights of the Turkish Cypriots, such as transportation, telecommunication and postal services, are provided through Turkey.
Kıbrıs Türk'ünün refah seviyesini her geçen gün daha yukarıya çıkaracak projeleri hayata geçiriyoruz.
Turkey has been making the utmost contribution in order to ease, to a certain extent, the difficulties faced by the Turkish Cypriots arising from the restrictions. The Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus water supply project, designed to supply water for drinking and irrigation from southern Turkey to northern Cyprus, is one of the most important projects.
Bu proje gerçekleşmemiş olsaydı bu ülkede bu kuraklıkta susuzluk çekecektik. Bugün hamdolsun bu ülkede susuzluk diye bir derdimiz yoktur.
Kuzey Kıbrıs'ın kalkınması, gelişmesi, büyümesi için birlikte hayata geçireceğimiz projeleri Cumhurbaşkanı Yardımcımız Fuat Oktay vasıtasıyla inşallah yakından takip etmeyi sürdüreceğiz.
And I'm joined live from Istanbul by journalist Haki Ocal and from Lefkosa in the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus by Professor Hüseyin Işıksal, who's a special advisor on international relations diplomacy at the presidency of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today on The Edge. And we must start by congratulating the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus of 47th anniversary of Operations for Peace on the island. And I'd like to start, first of all, Professor Işıksal, I'd like to ask you, looking at today, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan is visiting the island and has been meeting with President Tatar on the island. What is the significance of today's visit?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to celebrate everyone's Bayrams. For the Turkish Cypriots, we are celebrating two Bayrams at the same time. It's coincident. One of them is, religious Bayram. The other one is 20th of July, which is an anniversary of Turkish peace operation. It's a very significant event for us. It's one of the turning points of Turkish Cypriot history. Because as you all know, on 21st December 1963, Greek Cypriots attacked and forced Turkish Cypriots to live in the 39 enclaves. And we have to withdraw from our homes. And we live in these enclaves which doesn't have any borders or any boundaries. We live without electricity. We live without any state services, any government services. But still, Turkish Cypriots never accept Greek Cypriot sovereignty. So we continue to rule ourselves, even without having a state. And we have this strong tradition of ruling ourselves and administration. So Erdogan visit is, of course, very important. His support as the president of Turkey is so meaningful. Because, as you know, as I just said, every year we celebrate 20 July as a Peace and Freedom Day. So we protected from the Greek Cypriots violence and genocide. And we got the opportunity to live together and to form a nation. So 20th of July is actually the start of state building and nation building, and having us the chance to get our freedom and prosperity. So it cannot be more than this in terms of meaningful to have visit the island and having such a strong support and strong commitment to both to the two-state solution, which is put forward by President Tatar on the recent Geneva talks, where I was also a member of the negotiation team. And this unconditional support not only politically support the Turkish Cypriots, but also morally and economically. It also gives us, very, very good feelings. So one other important aspect of this visit, I think, is a message to the international community as well, because the international community, some countries, they put forward that Turkish Cypriots maybe will not be supported by Turkey till the end, especially on the two-state solution. But after today's visit, I think it's 100% crystal clear now that on this path we will not walk alone. We will always walk with Turkey on this way.
Absolutely. Hakkı Hoca, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus President Ersin Tatar has said that anyone who who criticizes Turkey for the Cyprus peace operation distort historical facts. Now, I believe as a very young foreign news editor that you saw firsthand the way that the Turkish Cypriots were being abused and put to harm on the island. Could you explain to us about what things were like in those days?
And you are so right. I mean, I remember in the editorial board cropping those images coming from Cyprus through Reuters, Associated Press and everything was an issue at the editorial board. We had to sit down and carefully crop them so that we wouldn't be inciting our own Turkish public opinion in Turkey, because they were gruesome pictures. I mean, a mother, two kids in a bathtub, all in blood, murdered, or a little kid going to the groceries with his own little puppy, killed, riddled with the bullets. I mean, they were so unimaginable images that we had to be careful not to publish them as they are. Through the time, of course, the idea prevalent among the journalists and the editors of the newspapers was this: why, as Turks, Cypriot Turks or Turkey Turks, we are taking this? It was too much. It was unlike any nation. I mean, no nation would take it in any part of the world. but we were taking it. I mean, we were silent, we were docile, we were very pliant, and we were taking it. And the reaction, public reaction, was really touchable. It became a very real issue in the country. And yes, in 1974, Greeks demolished the Republic of Cyprus first. They did it twice. And they declared a coup. That coup leader, Nikos Samson, a Greek officer, military officer, deposed President Makarios, the elected president of Cyprus, respected by both sides, Turks and Greeks. However, Greece, the people in Greece, the officers, the coup leaders, the generals in Greece had no respect to the public opinion on Cyprus, neither on Turkish side or on the Greek side. And they overnight declared that Cyprus is no more there, and they tried to annex the republic, the Cyprus, to Greece. They had to do this because they needed to prolong their own coup in Athens, and thank God, Turkish government didn't take this anymore because it was going to real massacre. I mean, they sent Greek generals, colonels, the coup leaders, sent large groups of military troops after the coup, and they were ready to eliminate, destruct whole Turkish people. I mean, it was that close, and the Turkish Republic could not take it anymore, so they had to militarily intervene. And as then Prime Minister Ecevit said, they killed 2 coups, 2 juntas with 1 stone.
Right. So, looking at the history of the island, which obviously goes back for centuries with Ottoman rule and then British partition, and so looking from in our lifetimes, the history of the island undeniably has a very violent history in the 1960s with the Greek-sponsored terrorism from the EOKA terrorist organisation, leading up to 1974, the events that you just described from the pictures that you were having to crop because of the blood. Hussein, based on this, it seems incredible that as an island, that there's been patience for so many years trying to form having discussions about a federation, and now time has moved on, and almost for 50 years the island has been totally separated into 2 parts. And now both the Turkish president as well as President Tatar of Northern Cyprus says it's time to look to the future. It's time to look to a 2-state solution. Why is this the way forward? Can I throw that to Hussein Işıksal?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. As you just mentioned, attempts to renegotiate the partnership over the 6 years have failed. And the latest settlement plan was Annan plan, which was accepted by the Turkish Cypriot, but overwhelmingly rejected by the Greek Cypriot with over 75%. And the only answer of this rejection is so clear, because the Greek Cypriot side do not want to wish to share power with the Turkish Cypriots, which are the equal partners, which were the equal partners of 1960 Republic. And a former foreign minister of Greek Cypriot administration, Mr. Rolandis, he confessed that the Greek Cypriot side rejected 15 out of 17 plans that put forward. So it's time to go think out of the box. It's time to think about fresh approaches. The Guterres, the United Nations Secretary General himself, said that this time must be different. So as I use this quotation too many times, but as Einstein said, to repeat the same things and expect the different results is madness.
Absolutely.
So over 60 years, we discuss of federation. There is nothing left to be undiscussed. Everybody knows each other's position. But as I said, at the heart of the issue is Greek Cypriots' hegemonic mentality that they don't want to share this island with the Greek Cypriots. They don't want to share the power and they don't want to share the prosperity. So we have to go forward, and it is because of this point where we depart. So our two-state solution model is actually not only will be benefited by the Turkish Cypriot, but also will be significantly benefited by the Greek Cypriots, because such solution will open the way for security, stability, and cooperation for the island. If I give specific examples, for example, normalization of relations of Greek Cypriots with Turkey will give them enormous benefits and billions of euros, especially by the opening of the Turkish ports, opening of the Turkish airports, airways, and tourism, shipping facilities, the transferring of the hydrocarbon resources to Europe via Turkey, which is the most viable, most economic way, the cancellation of the military spending, where the Greek Cypriots are spending billions of euros for it. So there are too many bonuses where the Greek Cypriots could benefit as far as with the Turkish Cypriots. And the only way to go forward is only through this two-state solution. And we believe that sooner or later, this point will be also accepted by the international community. Our demands are very, very simplistic and very clear. All we want is self-determination. All we want is equal access to education, equal access to international participation, freedom of movement, freedom of trade, economic prosperity, and freedom of government to choose and rule ourselves. And naturally, we want to live without fear and persecution or attacks, as happened in the history. We have a brutal history where you got thousands of evidence that unless our security concerns can be addressed, which we believe that it could be sustained only through two-state solution, then there will be further problems. And we confirmly argue that if there's a problem, again a problem in the Cyprus, this will negatively affect both the regional dynamics and international system as well. So we don't think that anyone wants further problem in Cyprus, because we already have security, negative peace, as Galtung put it. But if you want to go forward, if you want each side of the island to benefit, the only way forward is two-state solution.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, if you'd stay with me, let's watch this video together. Speaking at the celebrations marking the 47th anniversary of Turkey's Cyprus peace operation, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan reiterated the need for the two-state solution for the settlement of the Cyprus issue.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his Turkish Cypriot counterpart Ersin Tatar participated in military celebrations marking the 47th anniversary of Turkey's Cyprus peace operation on Tuesday. Erdogan and Tatar praised the close cooperation between the two brotherly countries, reiterating the need for a two-state solution for the settlement of the Cyprus issue.
Bizim kimsenin toprağında, hakkında, mülkünde gözümüz yoktur. Kimse de bizim ve Kuzey Kıbrıs Türk Cumhuriyeti'nin hakkına el uzatamaz.
Türk tarafı olarak biz müzakere yolu ile adil, kalıcı ve sürdürülebilir bir anlaşmadan yana olduğumuzu belirtirken, bunun gerçekleştirilebilmesi için yaklaşık 60 yıldır var olan gerçek, yani iki devletin varlığının kabul edilmesi de gerekmektedir.
President Erdogan accused Greece and Greek Cypriots of leading the negotiations to the downfall.
Rum tarafı gerçeklerden kopuk, maksimalist, samimiyetsiz ve şımarık yaklaşımını sürdürmekte ısrarcıdır. Bu yaklaşımlarını değiştirmek, kendilerini sorgulamak, hakkaniyetli çözüm yolunda samimi çaba harcamak gibi bir niyetleri de yoktur.
The Turkish leader also criticized the European Union's attitude towards the Cyprus issue, blaming the 27-nation bloc for Greek side's spoiled approach.
Avrupa Birliği mali noktada, idari noktada Kuzey Kıbrıs'a desteklerini verecekti. Verdi mi? Hayır, vermedi. Niye? Bunların hayatı yalan üzerine kurulu. Dürüst değiller.
Erdogan and Tatar reiterated their country's determination to protect their national interests in the Eastern Mediterranean, calling for a fair sharing of natural resources in the region.
Kıbrıs adası etrafında kıta sahanlığımızdaki doğal kaynaklara eşit hak sahibi olarak Anavatan Türkiye ile birlikte sahip çıkma kararlılığı içerisindeyiz.
Doğu Akdeniz'de hem kendi hak ve çıkarlarımızı hem de Kıbrıs Türk'ünün hak ve çıkarlarını korumakta kararlıyız. Arzumuz bölgenin huzur, barış, istikrar, işbirliği ve refahla anılmasıdır.
So as we saw earlier in that video, Turkish president says the existence of two real states that have existed for nearly 60 years needs to be acknowledged. Hakkı Hoca, let's come to you. What can you say about the future as a two-state solution?
The question right now, Andy, is this. The two states are there, and since 1974, save traffic accidents, not one single soul had been perished on both sides due to communal strife, fights or anything. Then why on earth the Greek government in Greece and the Greek Cypriots in Magosa and on the island and Europeans in Brussels do not accept the simple fact that there are two states there, two communities, and they are living in peace right now. Mm-hmm. They are not cooperating much, but they are living in peace. They are not killing each other. They are not harming in any way the other side. Then why they are not accepting this? It is very simple fact. I mean, if you go to any sane elementary school kid and explain the situation, they would simply say, okay, create two states and make them sit down on a desk, table, and sign some federal-like agreements and start cooperating. Why they are not doing it? They are not doing it simply because Europeans are using it as a tool not to accept Turkey as full member to the European Union. Greece is using it to fortify its stance in Europe. They are living, Greece is right now, and let's be frank, is living on the elms coming from Brussels. They are totally bankrupt right now. They are selling their own islands. They are selling their beaches and resorts and everything. And they are waiting for the help trickle down from Brussels. So they are abusing this fact that they are going to lose the title of representing the Republic of Cyprus. There is no Republic of Cyprus. I mean, they denied, as Professor Şüksal explained a second ago, they rejected the idea of recreating Cyprus in 1983. And also they rejected only recently in that referendum that the new United Nations plan was offered for the approval. Turkish side did, but Greek side didn't. And simply because they are trying to use, to abuse the situation so that they could get more money. By the way, all those money is coming from the southern Cyprus state, is not going directly to the Cypriot people, Greek Cypriot people. They are, some of them is funneled to Athens. Therefore, Turkey had to show a strong will, not only Turkey but also the Greek Cypriots, had to show on the 16th anniversary their strong will that it is not going to happen in another way. No federation there. That book is closed. as President Tatar said the other day. That book is closed. Now, look to the new possibilities. Create your own state, Greek state in South, and start cooperating with the people on the North. If they do it, of course, they are going to share the money coming from Brussels with Turks, and with that money or without it, Greeks, Turkish Cypriots are going to survive. The importance of visit today was underlining this. The Greek side can do whatever they want to. The Turkish Cypriot state is going to survive, no matter what.
Absolutely. Now, as you just mentioned, Hakan Hoca, Ersin Tatar, President of Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, pointed out that no blood has been shed since the peace was established in the island in 1974. This is a tremendously important point. So there is a peace on the islands, the two communities living side by side, albeit a little bit of tension because they don't know exactly what their roles are because it's not been concretely laid down in law, which it needs to be. So, Professor Yüksel, let's come back to today. Many projects have been developed hand in hand with Turkey and the Republic of Northern Cyprus. And today we've seen new projects opening in the last year. We've also seen a water link between Turkey and Northern Cyprus. These are obviously very beneficial things for the people living there and for the future of the island. So where are we going from here?
Well, as I just said, we have to look forward. And the main way is there are, of course, we have a whole list of homework that we need to accomplish. One of them is to strengthen our economy, and for this we have to strengthen our infrastructure. And with today's attempts, we see that Turkey will help in every terms in order to improve the infrastructure of Turkish Cypriot economy. I think the next step is we can think about a further project, which is we are working on it at the moment. I firmly believe that there are many ways to overcome from the international isolation and embargoes of Turkish Cypriots. For example, there could be free trade area established in Turkey under the TRNC operation, or we can find other ways to increase Turkish Cypriot exports to the other part of the world. Mm-hmm. And the main point is that we have to be financially, economically strong, because the people living on the island, they should be proud of their country. They should be proud of to be citizens of the TRNC. We have a very democratic system. We are very proud of our democratic system, our democratic legacy and tradition, but this also should be supported by economic ways. One other precondition, I also believe that recognition of the Turkish Cypriot state should be among the top prerequisites of the Turkish foreign policy. I mean, having support of Turkey in every means is one thing, which we fully appreciate, but putting the recognition of the TRNC on the very top agenda of the Turkish foreign policy is another thing. So when we look at the changing international conjuncture, especially in the region, now we know that, especially with the exploration of the new hydrocarbon resources, the recognition of the TRNC and the TRNC having its own maritime zone areas is becoming more vital and more important. So, and also as it's also used for the TRNC, this term is, the self-declared state only recognized by Turkey. It not sounds good. And if we can able to recognize with more states, then also I think we'll break the ice and we will break all the psychological problems, both in terms of society and in terms of international recognition. So I think that it will be like a domino effect. Mm-hmm. It can start with few countries, then it can improve to 5, 10, 20, and then I think there is no turning back, and we will the only way is up.
Let's hope so. Hoca, the world has changed even in the last 20 years. 20 years ago, we didn't have social media, we didn't have Facebook, Twitter, and so on. And so this is a reminder to us that we need to look afresh over time at situations. As Professor Yüksel reminded us, if you keep doing the same thing, you get the same results. So in the same way that Turkey isn't the same country it was 50 years ago, the situation in Cyprus isn't the same, and it shouldn't be regarded the same as it was even 50 years ago, even 20 years ago. So today, looking to the future, the visit of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to the island today is very symbolic, is it not?
It is symbolic in the sense that Turkey is now going, as Professor Yüksel said, is going to exert some pressure on friendly nations, friendly countries. So far, those countries, let me name some of them, I mean Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, even the Palestinian state in the occupied Israel and the occupied Palestinian lands are not recognizing the TRNC. This was sort of not problem for Turkey so far, but that was the old Turkey. As you explained, is for the last 20 years, we are witnessing the appearance of a new country, new Turkey, which is actually affecting its own will, its own thinking on the region. Yes, I agree that some people in the United States are not very happy with the situation, but unfortunately that's going to happen, and Turkey is now about to gain A, defense independence, B, energy independence. These two things are very important when you are going to be a regional player. Turkey, I mean, look, United States, France, and Russia could not solve the occupied Karabakh problem in Azerbaijan, between Azerbaijan and Armenia, and Turkish involvement solved the problem in what? In a year. Look at what's happening in Libya. I mean, for the last, 10, 15 years, United States, France, all Europe couldn't solve the participation in the divisions in Libya, and in 6 short months, Turkey brought the country to the election phase. It's the unification of Libya is a matter of time right now. It's going to happen. I am giving these examples as the moves of the new Turkey. If new Turkey is going to move on its friends and allies and everybody regarding TRNC and recognition of the Northern Cyprus state of Turkish state in Cyprus, we safely can drop this northern thing. They know that the northern part of the country is Turkish and the south is Greek Cypriot state. So those countries, those friends of ours, and some European allies are going to deal with this fact. Turkey wants them to recognize the Turkish state in Cyprus.
So it's time for them to listen and to move on and to make the decision. Gentlemen, that's all we've got time for. I want to thank you both sincerely for joining me today here on The Edge and giving us a fresh look at the future for the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. And we wish you continued peace and freedom there. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor Hüseyin Işıksal and Haki Öcal. We've been listening to their experts' perspectives on the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. Let's have a roundup of what they had to say. The Republic of Turkey, which has proven its support to the Turkish Cypriot people in all stages of the Cyprus problem, continues its moral and financial aid to the Turkish Cypriots after the establishment of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. Now, starting today, Muslims around the world are celebrating Eid al-Adha. We wish all our Muslim viewers a happy Eid al-Adha. This wraps up today's edition of The Edge. I'll leave you with a song in 9 languages celebrating the holy day.
Despite our pain, despite our worries, the morning light will shine our journey.
Despite of pain, despite of worries, the morning light will shine our journey. Despite of being a part of our start, we did amazing aid. जब भी हम साथ हो, कुछ भी हालात हो, डरना नहीं, रुकना नहीं, मैं तुमको थाम लूं, तुम मुझको थाम लो, मिलके रहे हम सदा। نكمل شو أغير نكسس فكرة دوية شيرم بسنة قنصنة نكست يبا bayram ye la tagiya idin jema yeni kheri tele la baraka suhar bayramin o musliman sot fesay bukrim bayram kullu amal ve amani nedar ne min tani إننا رغم البعد نحس ببعض